This video is brought to you by my latest book, How to Play Melodic Rock Lead Guitar, a comprehensive guide to doing exactly that, playing melodic rock lead guitar. This is not just some collection of scale patterns and tabs, although you do get plenty of those, but you also get an entire chapter on how to come up with your own licks, as well as video content, tutorials and demonstrations, loads of jam tracks, and all the way through I'm encouraging you to expand your fretboard knowledge and showing you how you can think in a more musical and melodic way. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. As you know, I have this Patreon thing where some very lovely people pay a small subscription each month, $3 or about £3 a month, as I mention in every video, and you get all of the tabs and jam tracks and little bits and pieces of lesson content and so on that go with these YouTube videos. And I also have a tier 2 level on Patreon where you get all of that stuff, but you also get a weekly blog post that I put out on a Friday, and a weekly reaction video that I post on Patreon every Sunday, and then twice a month, every other Tuesday night, 7 PM UK time, there's a Zoom chat where basically we just hang out on Zoom for an hour, have a beer and shoot the breeze. Basically, it's a little bit like the live stream that I do on a Friday, but it differs in two very significant ways. One, on the live stream I'm just sat here talking to a webcam and people are typing and I'm responding to what people are saying in the chat, but on Zoom obviously, you know, we're all there, we're all talking to each other and we're just kind of having a conversation. It's a little bit more natural in that regard. And the second way it differs is that because it's not going out on YouTube and it's not for public consumption, you know, we can be a little bit, shall we say, less guarded with our comments and opinions. The only rule I have is that we're not going to get into politics because, you know, that's just too divisive. So the moment the conversation starts heading in that direction, we implement the horn of harmony. Like that, and that's okay. Let's change the subject. And one of the topics that came up, I think a couple of sessions ago, was we were talking about other YouTubers, other guitar YouTubers, and who's great and who's not so great, and who needs to raise their game, and why does that guy always do that, and so on. And I'm not going to name any names, but there were a couple of names mentioned, probably people that you'll have heard of. And, you know, it was always like, well, yeah, these guys, no matter whatever guitar they're demoing, everything always sounds the same. And, you know, I immediately thought, well, are you saying that about me? You know, so I said, look, tell me, you know, if all of my guitar tones, whether I'm doing a Telecaster, a Les Paul, a Strat, you know, whatever, if they all sound basically the same, then, you know, I need to know about that so I can do something about it. And no, that's great. We can tell when you're playing your PRS or your Les Paul or your Jet Telecaster thing. So I was a little bit reassured by that. I thought, okay, well, I am doing, you know, something hopefully right. And then a couple of weeks ago from me recording this video, there was a video went out where I did the Epiphone SG Muse. And one of the people who left a comment under that said, yeah, I don't know why you bother. All of the guitars that you demo always sound pretty much the same. So I'm going to put this to bed now. What I've done is a little piece of music where I'm playing the same riff and a bit of a solo on various different guitars. And, well, here it is. Tell me, do all of these guitars sound the same to you? And as usual, I mentioned the Patreon thing earlier, there is a full tab for what you've just heard there, in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, and the jam track I was playing along with it as well. That is all up on my Patreon. As I said, there it is there, there's the address, link in the description. $3 or about £3 a month gets you access to all of the tabs and jam tracks and everything. And if you want to go for the tier 2, it's $6 a month. And, you know, thank you so much to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are down in the description. I'm going to make a bit of an analogy here. It's a little bit like if you're not a dog owner, right, you can probably hear the difference between a Chihuahua or a Yorkshire Terrier or a Jack Russell barking and an Alsatian or a Doberman barking, right, because it's obvious. But that's about as much as your ears are dialed in. But if you are, like me, a dog owner, you recognise your dog's voice. You know, you can tell your own dog's bark from like any other dog, like from the one that's up the street or whatever. Like if Dougal's out in the backyard and I hear his bark coming in through the window there, I know it's him, not the dog over the road barking in their kind of front garden. So, you know. And I just wonder, is it the same with my guitar tones? Is my ear that dialed into the differences between those different guitars, which tend to be the ones I play the most these days? Is my ear so dialed in that I can hear the difference between them immediately, whereas it might be a little bit lost on other people? I need you to tell me, okay? You know, could you hear, were the differences in those guitars as obvious to you as they were to me? Here's a little bit more of an indication, maybe. I've just separated out the sort of crunchy, riffy parts of that and put all the guitars back to back so you can kind of hear them one after another. Now, you see, to me, there, the Jet, the one that we heard first, that's a Jet JT350, which has had a Hot Rails style humbucker put in the bridge and a bit of work done into the Agrajag refret with stainless steel frets and so on. I've talked about this many times. But that sounds, you know, kind of very, very Telecaster-ish. It's like a Telecaster that's had an extra Weetabix for breakfast. You know, it's still recognisably got that bottom end of a grand piano thing that I always kind of associate with a Telecaster, that sort of, you know, well, that's how I perceive it anyway. But it's got that sort of clanky kind of sound. I can dial the volume back on that guitar and do a very, very good rendition, or very good impersonation, I should say, of the riff from Bruce Springsteen's Darlington County. It really nails that tone. It's twangy, it's got that Telecaster clanky kind of thing going on, whereas the PRS is definitely a fatter sound, but still, I think because it's got a trem and because it's got a bolt-on neck, debate amongst yourselves whether those things are making any difference, but I perceive that to still have a very Fendery kind of sound, but just like a turbocharged, fatter version of it. And then you get to the Les Paul, and that's an altogether different animal, because that's got much more mids. It's just a warmer sounding guitar. It's just got, you know, something of the, it sounds Gibson-y, surprise, surprise. And then the HSS Strat that I was playing at the end, this vintage reissued series, yeah, the icon of the the sort of relic ones, sent to me very kindly by a viewer of this channel. Thank you, Jim. This one sounds exactly like what you expect a Strat with a humbucker in the back end to sound like. It's fendery, and it's, you know you're hearing a Strat bridge pickup, but because it's a Hot Rails humbucker, it's not a thin kind of single coil, that's the word I'm looking for, pickup. So to me, those differences are very, very, very apparent, and I think one of the things that maybe leads people to suggest that everything I do tends to sound very similar is because I run through the same settings all the time. The Blue Guitar Amp 1 Mercury Edition, usually on the vintage channel. I rarely go to the clean channel. I rarely go to the higher gain channels these days, because I'm just kind of learning to live without a little bit less gain in my life. I find that, like, all of those demos that you heard there were just the difference in gain between the crunchy rhythm guitar part and the more kind of shouty lead guitar part. That was just the guitar's volume control in each case. So, maybe because I'm living on that same amp channel all the time, there is going to be, a similarity between the guitars that I'm demoing. Does that bother you? Do I need to get a little bit more diverse? Do I need to start doing what many other YouTubers are doing and have a Fender Twin preset for this, and an AC30 preset for that, and a Marshall Plexi preset for something else, and a dual rectifier preset? Because the price of a piece of kit that will do all of those sounds, well, it's zero now. I mean, if you're going to use, I've got Neural Amp Modeler that I demoed a little while ago, and I can easily dial those sounds in. Is that something you would like me to start doing, or are you happy with me just using the sounds that please me? Because, like, as I say, the Blue Guitar Amp 1 is, that's the sound that pleases my ears, but I realise I'm not in this necessarily to please myself. You're the audience, and you are the people I'm trying to inform and entertain. Do I need to rethink how I'm getting my guitar tones a little bit? It's a genuine question, and I invite your comments below. And that is pretty much the video for today, folks. Help me out here and let me know what you think, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it? And of course, don't forget, as I mentioned earlier, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and we talk, and it is a fantastic way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it, but for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.